Hi beautiful, welcome to my channel. In today's video we are trying the entire new legendary Diversa collection from Oden's. We have 3 brand new collaboration palettes in here. Each palette has 3 different lip products that go with it, and as per usual with Oden's, they sent a few little extra gifts and knickknacks. I was so excited to get my hands on this collection. I can't wait to show you and swatch every single palette, and I'll be doing an eyeshadow look with each one of these today. So if you're excited for today's video, don't forget to please give it a thumbs up before you leave, and let's go ahead and get started. I do have an Oden's discount code. The code is PATTY10, and that usually works with regular Oden's releases. Whenever they do a collaboration, the code does not work, so my code unfortunately will not work for this collection. However, if you shop for this collection and you add anything else from their website to your purchase, you can use code PATTY10 and save 10% off of those other products in your purchase. Anyways, I'm going to start by showing you this palette right here. This is the Earthwood palette. This one is in collaboration with the Fancy Face. And once you open it, take a look right here at the color story of this one. I love that she shows cool-toned colors for her collection, like this purpley one here, that one, this green is beautiful. The shimmers look incredible. And I love a pop of color, so I can't wait to try these more vibrant shades at the bottom here. Plus, I'm very excited that she put a couple of neutrals in this palette as well, so that you can very easily combine all of the rest of the colors together. I think I'm going to really like this one. Besides the eyeshadow palette, as I mentioned, this collection has lip products. In this case, the Earthwood lip products are 3 different color glosses. Here's what the packaging of these glosses looks like. And I'm going to go ahead and swatch them for you, and then I'll swatch the palettes one by one after I show you the entire collection. So we have the color Shine right here. This one's called Creativity, and it's a lighter, more nude type shade. And then we have the shade Brilliance here. So these are the 3 gloss colors in collaboration with the Fancy Face. These are the little extras that are part of that collection. We have a keychain here, and then this is a beautiful magnet, and then of course the stunning silk scarf right here. I absolutely love these, and I use them because I usually put them on Cece as a scarf. She looks very fancy with these on. Cece is my doggy, and I love to put these silk scarves on her because she looks adorable. Let's move on to the Mighty Monster palette. This one is in collaboration with Annette's. Once you open it, here's what this one looks like. I love the pops of vibrant color, and I also love that she also included more neutral shades in here that you can combine with those pops of color. She also went very diverse with the colors she chose. You have yellow and red and purple and green, so a lot of variety within this color story. Plus, I feel like the camera isn't doing it quite the justice it deserves, but the shimmers in this palette are incredible. I can't wait to try them. Annette's Mighty Monster collaboration also has 3 different lip glosses in it. Here's what the outer packaging of these looks like. I love the blue to purple gradient. And we have shades Breath on Fire, Snake Kiss. I love the smell of these glosses. It's like bubblegum. Third one is Mythic Rose right here. So take a look at these 3. Beautiful. With the Mighty Monster collection, you get this cute little snake in a keychain and the magnet as well. And here is the stunning silk scarf. I really love the headpiece on the design of this collection. It looks so beautiful. Last but certainly not least, the Spring Dragon palette from Judy. And here's what this one looks like on the inside. This is a very, very spring appropriate palette. It is all pretty much pastel shades. I think the shimmers she shows look incredible, And I also love that there's a couple of more neutral shades in this one too, so that you can combine all of these shades together. The color Flora looks beautiful. Wood is a very neutral brown, and then you have the pops of pastel all around those shades. This palette looks really pretty as well. The Spring Dragon lip collection is a bit different because it has 2 lip glosses and 1 lip satin. As far as the outside packaging of the lip products, this one is by far my favorite. I just love the gradient of all of the different pastel shades. Is beautiful. We have the gloss in Dahlia, the gloss in Buttercup, and then the lip satin, which says has a matte finish, and the color is Tulips. This one, formula-wise, feels like it's going to be a very moussey, non-drying type of matte lipstick. Here is the Little Dragon keychain and the Little Dragon magnet. And then here is the stunning pastel silk scarf, which I absolutely love. You can get this entire collection, every single palette, every single knickknack, every single lip product on the Oden's website for $200 with 43 cents. Or you can of course buy everything individually. Each palette retails for $36.90 and each lip product retails for $13 with 90 cents. Okay, so now let's get into the swatching, shall we? I'm going to once again start with the Earthwood palette. These feel super silky smooth and like they're going to be very pigmented because they almost feel creamy. Here's the shade Moss, Earth, Blossom, Coast, Leaves, Strength, Vitality. Oh my god, that is a gorgeous, gorgeous purple. Life, Petal, Heal, Wood, and last but not least the shade Beauty down here. I'm gonna grab just a bit more Beauty. So take a look right here at the stunning swatches from the Earthwood palette. Really beautiful, and I did not build any of these shades up apart from the last one that you saw me repeat. These shades are truly this pigmented and this soft and this buttery and this smooth. Let's move on to swatching the Mighty Monster palette next. We have shades CBTS, Electrum, which is a stunning pewter shade, Abyss right here. This one I don't know how to pronounce and I am building it up just a bit. Then we have Serpent Scales, which is a beautiful, beautiful green glitter. Oceanic right here, which I'm going to have to build up because it's a very pale blue shade. Solar Burst, which is a stunning yellow. And Ouroboros, which is this beautiful shimmer pink. Lastly, we have Ophidian, Ragnarok, Glow Vortex, which is a stunning multi-chrome shimmer, and Midgard Gleam. So take a look at every single shade from the Mighty Monster palette right here. I am absolutely loving the shimmery, glimmery shades in this one so much. And I love a palette with a good yellow shade, so I'm excited about that one as well. Time for the Spring Dragon palette. This one might be a bit tricky to swatch maybe because it's all pastels, we'll see. First shade is Chun, then we have Moss, Blossom, it's actually swatching beautifully, Seeding right here, even the pastel yellow with my pinky swatched beautifully. Plum is next, Long afterwards, Petal, I love this shade, and Ua or Hua next. This pastel purple is really pretty. Lastly, we have Flora, Rain, Dew, and Wood. So check it out right here. I'm actually quite impressed with these pastel shades and how pigmented and buttery they are. Before I begin, I'm priming my eyes with the Rare Beauty eyeshadow primer, just so that I have a nice even base all throughout. And the first palette I'm going to use is the Earthwood palette right here. I'm going to start with the shade Life on a big fluffy brush. This one is the reference number 15. And I'm just going to blend that color all throughout the crease of my eye. I got you guys just a tiny bit closer, and I'm just blending that shade across the crease. That blended out beautifully. With a smaller blending brush, I'm grabbing the shade Petal, and I'm going to tap Petal on the outer third of my eyelid here and blend it into that peach shade. We'll see how this turns out because these two colors are very different from one another. I'm trusting that this can blend nicely. And so just back and forth using my smaller fluffy brush, I'm diffusing those two colors together. Back with the big fluffy brush and just a bit more of the peachy shade so that it diffuses that purple very nicely. For a little bit more dimension and to add another color, I'm going to grab the shade Vitality, and this is a refer number 13, and I'm going to add it right here on the inner third of the crease of my eye, blending it into that peach shade as well, just like so. Back and forth and doing little circles just like so. I'm going to grab the shade Blossom here with my finger, and I'm going to just stamp it over top of the purple, just leaving a little bit of space on the outer third, just stamping it in place. Okay, I'm loving the way this is turning out. I had no idea where I was going with this eyeshadow look, but this is looking good. I'm honestly just trying to add as many shades as possible, and somehow I want that to work. So I'm going to go for the shade Coast next, which is a light blue shimmer. I have it on my refer number 2, which is a flat brush, and I am adding it to the remaining part of my eyelid. And I'm just tapping it in place right here. And right on the inner corner, I want to put the shade Beauty right here. This one's kind of an iridescent, multi-chromey type shade. I'm going to bring it in just a tad bit. Underneath the eye, I'm going to tight line with the shade Petal using a very small pencil brush. This one is the refer number 23, all the way to the tear duct area here. And then I'm going to diffuse that one with the shade Life, just like we did on top. And this is a refer number 13. In my waterline, I added the Camu Camu eyeliner from Natasha Denona. I wanted something that would brighten, and I also wanted something that would match either the inner corner or the blue shade on the inner part of the eyelid. So that was perfect. This is very colorful for me, but it is making me step out of my comfort zone. The issue is that I started with the orange, and then I wanted to also use the rest of the shades, so we went all in with this palette. What do you guys think? There's obviously a ton more looks that you can do with this palette, and you don't have to be out there with it. You can do very simple looks with it as well. I went ahead and applied some lashes, and take a look right here at the finished look with the Earthwood palette from this collection. I like this look a little bit more now, it's growing on me. Okay, I just applied my Natasha Denona lip liner in the shade Natasha, and we're going to try the Earthwood glosses. This one is the shade Brilliance. Here's the shade Brilliance on, and it matches the crease of my eye, as you can see. This one is called Endurance. And so here's what Endurance looks like. I'm covering my other eye because it's distracting that it's not matching this one. And then we have Creativity, which is almost like a clear shade, but with a hint of like a peachy something. From this trio, I think Creativity, I know it's the most basic one, but it's my favorite. Next, I'm actually going to use the Spring Dragon palette because I want to leave the Mighty Monster palette last so that I do it on both eyes. Anyways, I'm going to go into this stunning pastel palette next. And I want to use the shade Flora as my crease. So with a big fluffy brush, I'm just going to blend it all throughout the crease of my eye here. Back and forth, and this is diffusing in an instant. So fast and so easy. I'm going to once again try to use as many shades as I possibly can. So I'm going to use the shade Seedling here on a smaller brush, and I'm going to blend it on the inner third of the crease of my eye here, just back and forth with this small brush. And I'm going to follow that up with the color Chawn, which is the green shade, and add this one a little higher. So we have a little yellow at the bottom, a little green at the top. The darkest shade in this palette is the shade Wood. So I'm going to go into the shade Wood and add it to the outer third of my eyelid back here. Just stamping it in place with a reference number 1. And lightly blending it into my crease area. I'm actually loving that yellow-green inner corner situation I have going on. It's really pretty. A little bit more Wood, and I'm going to tight line with this shade right underneath my lower lashes back here. I'm using a reference number 3, just back and forth, all the way to the tear duct area. A bit more of the shade Flora on a reference number 14, and we are going to smoke out the lower lash line with it. Actually, I'm going to mix Blossom and Flora for a little bit more peachiness down here. Loving all of those mattes combined. Somehow I feel like they work, and I think it's going to work even better once I add the shimmers, and I know what shimmers I want to add. Starting with Petal here, and Petal is going to go over top of the brown a bit, right back here, but leaving a little matte color on its own on the outer third of the lid. So here is Petal. I'm going to switch fingers and I'm going to grab the shade Moss, and Moss is going to be the center of the eyelid shimmer. Just stamp it right there so that it matches that inner corner matte. Beautiful. Ooh, yeah, I'm liking the way this is turning out. Then the color Long here, which is like a golden shimmer, I'm going to add to the inner part of the eyelid. And the inner corner is going to be the shade Dew. So I'm stamping it right in here. In the waterline, I added a sagey green light pastel type of eyeliner. This one is from Glossier in the shade Patina. And after applying some lashes, take a look right here at my finished look with this stunning Spring Dragon palette. I'm obsessed with the look that I created with this one. I loved the color combo. I used a ton of different shades, and I don't know that you can see them one by one, but you can definitely see the shifts in the shades, and you can definitely see all of the different matte colors, and somehow they play very well with one another. So I really love the way that this look right here turned out. Let's go ahead and try the lip trio that is part of this palette's collection. Starting with the gloss in Dahlia. Here's what Dahlia looks like next to the shades from the palette. This one is Buttercup, a bit of a lighter orangey color. And then Judy also made a matte lipstick in the shade Tulip. So let's see how we do with this one. Oh my goodness, it is intense. I don't love the formula of this matte liquid lipstick. Okay, so for thumbnail picture purposes, I went back with the shade Creativity, which is still my favorite, and combined it with both of these eyeshadow looks. I'm still obsessing over the pastel eyeshadow look right here. Finally, time to use the Mighty Monster palette in collaboration with Annette. And I'm going to start with the color CBTS. And I'm going to just blend it all throughout the crease of my eye, just to start with a nice neutral base, since this one is pretty colorful. So just back and forth here. And repeating over on this side. I'm going to use this green shade right here as my outer corner color. This one looks really nice and intense, and it's almost like a teal type green color. It's not a green, it definitely has a little bit of blue in there. So I'm adding it to the outer third of my eyelid, and then I'm going to start blending it into my crease. With the tip of this brush, I'm just adding a little bit to my lower lash line as well, just to connect it down here. And diffusing it really nicely. And back with the fluffy brush, blending any edges. And of course, I'm doing the same thing over here. Okay, so here's those two colors blended. I went ahead and diffused that teal greenish shade a whole lot because every time I just wanted to go a little bit higher with it. For a little bit of contrast, and because I love a yellow matte, I'm going to use Solar Burst right here and add this one to the inner part of my crease, bringing it up to meet with the rest of the colors right through the center. The main reason I chose to use the green teal color today is because I really wanted to use the color Serpent Scales, and it's a perfect match, obviously. So I'm going to put Serpent Scales. Oh, this is a good shimmer. I'm going to put Serpent Scales over the outer green and towards the center of the eyelid. That looks so good. Same thing over here. I'm going to go on with the shade Electrum here, which is the pewter silvery shimmer. And I'm going to add it right on the inner third of my eyelid. Just like this. A little bit more Serpent Scale to blend it in nicely. And I think I want that yellow to stand out a little more. For the inner corner, the shade Glow Vortex is 100% the way to go. So I'm just going to stamp it right here. Mustard yellow eyeliner to my waterline. This is Glossier in the shade Ochre. And I'm diffusing the green underneath the eye with the shade CBTS and a small fluffy brush. Just back and forth down here. This look turned out so beautiful. I love it. I went ahead and retouched my mascara, applied some short falsies, and all I have left to show you is the last 3 glosses. These are the ones from the Mighty Monster collection, starting with Breath of Fire. So this one here is Breath of Fire. I thought I wasn't going to like it, but I actually do like it because it's not as in your face as some of the other ones I've tried. You guys know I'm very basic when it comes to lipsticks. This next one is Mystic Rose, and this one is a bit more pigmented. Take a look right there at Mystic Rose. And last but not least, Snake Kiss, which is like a warm brown gloss. And so here's what this one looks like. Back with the gloss in the shade Creativity because I want to have the same lip combo in the thumbnail picture. And this was definitely my favorite gloss of the collection. My overall thoughts on the collection is that every palette was beautifully made. I think my favorite eyeshadow palette of the 3 was the Mighty Monster palette from Annette because I think it is the most versatile palette of them all. You can go so many different routes with this one, and I absolutely love the shimmers in this one the most, and the look that I created today with this one was my favorite. My second most favorite, I think, was the Spring Dragon palette. When it comes to pastel eyeshadows, I always have my doubts because they can be very hit or miss. This palette is an absolute hit through and through. The only reason I'm not naming it as my favorite is because I only reach for these types of shades during spring, maybe a little bit during summer, but it's not a palette that I see myself using year-round, and the Annette palette is a palette that I see myself using year-round. And then the Earthwood palette was absolutely incredible as well. Out of the looks that I created today, the one with this one was the one that I felt the least comfortable with, but I need to keep playing with it because I know I went very colorful with this one and I didn't have to. The shades in here though are incredible, and I cannot wait to continue to play with it. Out of all of the lip products, the Earthwood gloss in the shade Creativity was my absolute favorite. It's the one that I've worn the most throughout the video, and that is it for today's video. I truly hope that you guys like it. Let me know which one was your favorite palette or your favorite eyeshadow look down in the comment section below. Definitely curious to find out. This entire collection is already available on the Oden's website. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I love you all so much. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you back in the next one. Bye.